are back.
We're back.
We're back in business.
We hope you're back because we're back.
This is a big year for us. So, welcome. We are kicking off this year with doing a 5-tip talk. We do have a project on the way. It'll be landing soon, but we wanted to kick off with a 5-tip talk because we wanted to take on a big subject.
It is. Why renovations take longer.
And cost more than you might think. Number one that people often overlook is the hidden costs within a project.
So one of the things that you will always come across in home renovations is the demo side of things is big because you don't know what you're looking at until you're looking at it. And for a lot of homes, you have lots of big ideas for what you want for spaces, but to get there, you have to rip some ceilings down, take some wall linings off, some floor linings off. It's really hard to know what devil you're dealing with until you get into that detail. And for us specifically, we had a lot of issues with our ceilings. We wouldn't have known since we bought the house, but when you take all the ceilings down, it's a lot of hidden elements to a house that you're just not aware of.
So things to think are the wiring, the plumbing, things that can be hidden under ceilings, floors, walls, especially if you want to move your floor layouts around and you're relying on certain things to be there. It's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, you don't know. Like as I said before, for us, we didn't realise that half of the house had actually burnt down until we pulled down one room worth of ceilings, and of course that was reflected through the rest of the house. But you don't know these sorts of things, so always be prepared for the unexpected and have a contingency in place for it because things aren't going to be where you want them to be, and there's going to be things that you weren't expecting. Number 2 is going to be lead times and back orders on ordering materials.
So if you look at it from a design perspective, there are some parts of the design you have to make decisions on and order quite early on. Those decisions come up quite quickly. You feel like you're in the structure for ages, and then all of a sudden you needed the materials yesterday. So knowing what you need to get, knowing exactly the product that you're buying, checking the delivery times, how long it's going to take to order, and getting them in time so that you can keep the project moving is really important.
There's a lot of things that you can get pretty quickly in the building industry. There's a lot of options as well, so definitely shop around. If someone can't give you something, there's probably an alternative, or there's another supplier who can do it her stock, so do your research. But I think thinking ahead's the biggest one, especially if you've got bespoke items, any custom pieces, and any hero pieces, like it's a grand fireplace or it's a beautiful tile that's got to come from Spain somewhere. Those sorts of things you really want to try to nail early on, so do some research, send some emails off to some suppliers, get some lead times, and talk to some of your trades as well to figure out what's coming up.
Speaking of trades, that brings us on to number 3, which is trades and the sequencing of trades.
Can't start my sentence with So sequencing of trades is really important. There's a very, very good way of doing things, and there's also a really bad way of doing things as well. So obviously you want to get demolition done, you want to get structural done, then you want to move through services, rough in and fit off. There's a very clear building sequence of how to go about these sorts of things. They can get really complicated, especially when you're dealing with multiple areas. If you've been following the journey, our house has been done in very separate stages. So there's been a lot of forward planning with our services to make sure that there's provisions for everything as we move forward throughout the process. So if you don't have that knowledge or you don't know somebody with that knowledge, basically find somebody because you're going to need it. Do lots of research online to figure out what that looks like, but definitely engage some professionals, ask your trades, get as much information as possible with who needs to come in first and who needs to do what if you're not a privy to that sort of industry.
Yeah, and knowing the right trades and having that conversation and booking them in early, because if you miss that boat, you could be waiting weeks to find someone, and that's going to delay your whole project.
Yeah, and if it's like us in our area, it ebbs and flows. The industry is some people are always looking for work, and then other times you just cannot book anybody in. So be prepared for a little bit of delays there, because obviously if you miss one of those sequences, you're going to be held up in your finishes if you can't get your plumbing or your electrical roughed in. So same thing as before, it's a bit of lead time issue as well. Organise your trades, figure out what they need, and try to book them in and get everything you require done first before they arrive.
Brilliant points. Number 4 is scope creep, and I think this is a big one because as people start designing their spaces and they start seeing the spaces come together, they go, oh, I want this now, or I want to change this, or I want to add this. And every decision that you make that changes the scope of what you're doing, I mean, especially when you're adding things to that scope, is going to increase costs, it will increase time. Any changes that you make along the way is going to impact the cost and the time of your renovation.
Yeah, as I said, it's you don't know what you're building until you build it. You can spend hours looking at plans and developing plans, but until you're in that space, you're probably going to want to make decisions, and that's totally acceptable. But you just need to weigh up what that decision looks like and really have a think about that contingency, what the ripple effect of that idea is going to cause, whether it is a time or a cost extension. Usually it is most definitely both. Changes and variations to any building project cause the most delays and the largest costs for the unforeseens. So just be really wary of that. And I guess that's probably a contractor note to note as well, that basically any variations, they are taken quite literally and quite seriously as well. So contractors will always tell you if something's not included. So do your due diligence in figuring out what you want to change and when you want to change it.
I think from a design perspective, people get a bit nervous when they see things start to come together. They feel like, oh, do I want that? Maybe I want to change. There's a bit of nerviness that comes with seeing your space come together. Trust the process a little bit, I think, sometimes. As Brad says, it's fine to make changes.
Yeah, it's very natural.
It's very natural, but you have to have the expectations that roll with those changes.
Yeah, just discuss it with everybody as well. Get some feedback on what that change might look like and if it's actually going to impede on your program or costs, or whether or not it's actually going to make things better in the long run. So number 5 is a budget buffer, and really the expectation, I guess, around what that looks like. You should always go in with a contingency to your project. I think a bit of a rough ballpark figures, anywhere from 10, ideally 20% of your entire project value is always good to have that setting aside as a contingency. And it really relates to absolutely everything we've just discussed, from design changes to hidden costs.
As sad as it sounds, you will use it. It will be used, you know.
Assume it's going to be used. Because...
And if it's not, party at the end.
That's right.
But the truth is that you are very unlikely to do a large scale renovation or build without dipping into that pot of money.
Yeah, and it obviously depends on your circumstances as well. You might have a little bit more to reach into as the time goes on. But of course, it's really good practice to stick to that and let that guide your judgment and your decisions that you make too. You might not want to make any changes because you actually have to spend too much money rewiring your house. So keep that in mind, and it's a really crucial thing which will help you succeed in your project.
It is a bit of a summary of all the other points, because if you know that you've got X amount of contingency and you want to change your design and that's going to dip into that bucket, it might make you make decisions differently. Thank you for joining us. It's been really fun to be back. We're very excited to be back. As I said, this year's going to be a big one.
That's it. We've already started on some of these projects. They're building in the background.
Do we have some projects to show you?
So hopefully that's going to come out pretty soon. We're getting into some fun stuff with the outdoor living. So watch this space.
And we want to keep these conversations going. It's really fun to sort of dip our toes in some really interesting topics of building and reno and design. So if you have any questions, you can leave them below, especially around budgets, timing, because it's a very interesting topic. Please ask us a question.
Ask us.
We can do a little video on it. Amazing. We'll see you in the next one.
See you soon.
Bye.